Okay, we are going live in less than. Okay,
I think we're already.
And we managed. I feel very proud of myself. I have been through, and I'm going to talk about stressful situation, and maybe that is the reason they say, "You lady, you really are you sure you're going to talk about stress? How you manage stress?" And okay, then I can talk about it. Then I think I'm allowed. Hi everyone. So we are live on YouTube right now with all beautiful people around us, next to us, supporting us for this. For the mind games. It is the initial webinar that we are coming. What is mind games? What is ice and fire? What really means? Why we're doing these things? This is workshops. This is project. It's going to be webinars and it's exclusive teams. It refers about for businesses and for individuals. When we say businesses, we mean when we want to upskill the already existing talented workforces and for individuals, for their performance, high performance skills, and to feel and to have the strength and the power to believe and trust for their intimate relationships. This is mind games, ice and fire. We are based on the theory of Maslow, the hierarchy human need. This is our baseline where we're going to cultivate, to reformulate, to reframe this aspect. Plus, it is experimental. You're going to see and to hear new ideas, new models in order for the higher performance, in order to have adaptability, and in order to have also our confidence, our relationship, our communication, business agility, empowerment, self-empowerment, and team empowerment, mind games. About Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we are having Coach Jorge and Coach Galina that they will analyze. They will help us to have a better, deeper understanding. So I will skip this part for the moment. Then today we have a title, Aligning with Your Inner Resources. This is 101. This is initial, the first level, the first approach. And we're going right now to share to the stage, to give the stage to our first speaker, Jorge Carrillo. Let me say a few things about our Jorge. Jorge is a Holy Grail facilitator. He's from Mexico and global technical coordinator for the Holy Grail Partnership United Kingdom, specialized in trauma resolution and deep transformational processes with the Holy Grail method, a scientific-based model for the mind. NLP master practitioner, EFT master practitioner. Take your notebooks, take your pen, write down all the questions because the Q&A starts after the talk of our presenters and the speakers. And just to point out, because it's the initial introduction to mind games, Jorge will make an introduction to understanding about the life cycles. Galina will share for us to find the correlation between the human need and the mind, the brain. And Roxanne, me, myself and I will introduce you to a new model of body language, situational awareness model to stress. And Sofia Katemlidou will show us in practical ways the correlation between food and mood and the two brains. Yes, we humans, we're having two brains. So let's, Jorge, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Roxanne, and welcome again to this webinar. I'll be presenting my slides, and then we'll proceed to the presentation. And let me, for the people who are just joining, let me just present a little bit of what I do. With this particular approach, the Holy Grail method is focused in the resolution of what we understand as trauma or definitive moments, meaning that we constantly are experiencing different situations that mark us. There is a before and after for those particular experiences. So through a set of exercises with patterns of questions, what I do is facilitate the client to navigate around their mind spaces in order to find these particular structures of mind from which these particular definitory moments changed us. So with this in mind, I would like to present first a particular model, because the work I do is based on the life cycles that we as humans and life as it whole experience. Time defines our experience. The sun rises and the sun goes down. And so we are born and then we die. Everything in life is related to life cycles. So this particular model, what we'll be offering is just an understanding that every life cycle has a particular structure and stages. These stages, in the terms of my model, are 7. The first, I would appreciate maybe you could mute your screen so I can speak clearly. Thank you. So these stages allows us to understand first and mostly that the initial conditions of every cycle are paramount. There are cultural influences or ancestral or legacy influences, meaning that previous life cycles have an influence on how we are going to evolve on any life experience. This particular model allows us to understand that once the requirements are set, my beingness is going to project into the world emotional energy, the concepts I have built intellectually about the world, and whatever relation I engage with, there will be a natural perceiver and object. And from that particular relationship, the object of my perception will reflect upon me. That will create a contextual experience from where the expression, my personal expression, my voice will emerge. And through that expression, my life, or the life cycle, better said, will set into a direction in order to manifest whatever the requirements of the cycle signal. If we want to make changes in our life, if we want to address our life more integrally, we need to go back to the basics and resolve any misorganization of the requirements of our life cycle. Some life cycles cannot be changed because we have been organically defined. For example, the conditions in our mother's experience, in the womb experience in the mother. The way my physicality develops in that stage might not be able to change. Nevertheless, the psychological structure can be readapted. So as you can see, if we can go back to the sources of any life cycle, whether it's a new project, whether it's a new romantic relationship, if we fix our own sense of requirements, then everything will flow nicely. So let's keep this in mind so we can explore further, because life cycles in our experience begins when the soul embodies the body in the moment of conception. At that particular time, what will happen is that we will be defined by the ancestrality of our fathers, for example, the DNA, but also the psychological experience around that particular influence. We will be influenced by the
Coach Jorge, please, if it's possible, in order to support our speakers, to check our microphones that we are muted. Just please have this awareness. Thank you so much. Yes, Coach Jorge, please.
Okay. So once we have embodied our soul in a particular body, the environment is going to influence us. Mother womb's environment will be determinant on how we behave. If we are in an experience where there is a lot of stress, a lot of chemicals, those influences will define how the baby will be developing at that stage. And so on, we have different cycles just like that one. We have different cycles, and each cycle will require different needs to be met. We might have needs in relation to our physical need for sustenance, food, safety, and so on. But eventually, as we grow old, those needs will be sophisticated further on. Let's explore further in a set of examples.
Otra vez. Es que mira.
Maybe we need to mute generally because there's a lot of noise. Okay, thank you. Are we okay? Fair. Okay. So if we are in a certain stage of life, let's say, for example, I am a already grown-up man, but I was in a particular experience as a baby or as a kid in which I was neglected from love and security. That particular life cycle, when it finishes, will have an influence into an older self, and I might be needing to compensate that lack of love, that lack of recognition, with certain strategies in order to relate romantically or socially. So as we can see, there are influences from the previous cycles into the new ones. If I embark into a new project, let's say a new job, I will have an influence from the previous job I had, positive and negative, it doesn't matter. So we have to understand that the journey of the soul is defined by its cycles. But what does this mean in terms of our needs? Because the needs are constantly present in the cycles. For us, it's better to understand them from the perspective of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow defined this hierarchy in the late 40s, if I am correct, and he understood that there is a hierarchy that we are constantly trying to achieve. The physical and the safety needs, as you can see in the pyramid, are the most important, and particularly in these times, because we are into a stressed and fear-flight situation mostly, we're focusing into meeting these needs. These needs mean that we need food, we need a space to live, we need sustenance, we need to cover our instinctual needs, for example, reproduction of ourselves like a species, sexual activity. In a higher degree of needs, we need the need to have a job in order to bring food to our table. We need a house in order to be secure. We need to be able to sustain our health. So those are the particular and most important needs that we need to address. In a higher level, we need social belonging. We need to connect with people because we are social beings. In that level of connection, it's where we have our friendship, our family, the need for intimacy. And there is a trick with this particular hierarchy of needs because, for example, if the needs are not properly organized, I might have a need to fulfill a sexual drive, but I might not be able to fulfill a need for intimacy, which is not the same. So in one sense, our life starts to lack of something rather to be thriving into a particular set of needs. And this is important because the hierarchy of needs is constantly feeding each other. In a higher esteem, in a higher level, we have the need to be, the need of esteem. We need to feel good about ourselves. We need to love ourselves. We need to feel confident about our skills and our sense of achievement. And certainly that will deliver a sense of respect and recognition. We're constantly striving to have that particular need. As the past example, for example, if we were neglected or shamed by our parents, I might have a low self-esteem. And with such a low self-esteem, my ability to perform, my ability to achieve, my ability probably to have intimacy with someone might be compromised. So again, as you can see, this particular hierarchy of needs is constantly interacting with each other. In the higher stage, we have the need to self-actualize. We are creative beings. We are moral beings. We need to foster those particular needs if we want to be sustainable as a society, as a family, as an individual. If I am too stressed and focused in meeting my safety and physiological needs, I might not be able to touch those creative areas of myself. And at some point, the lack of creativity in order to create new solutions might compromise my ability to be safe. So we need to step a bit back, clear our minds, release our emotions, and be able to navigate in a healthier way into the higher levels of needs. If we are able to be creative about the problems we need to solve, we will be more sustainable. We will be in a thriving modality of life rather into a stressful and very, very close relation with life and with ourselves. So in order to fulfill these particular needs, our daily operation goes in a particular way. First of all, we need to understand that there is a structure of mind. This structure of mind is created in relation of the particular definitory moments we experience. If I have an ancestral influence, for example, and I will use my cultural background, in Mexico, we are still suffering the trauma from the Spanish coming and conquering the native cultures. Until we don't solve that socially, we're going to have a lot of problems locally. So we need to be mindful of the strong ancestral influences that we are holding from our own particular countries, nations, religions, and so on. There might be traumas in the way we are defining our needs. Maybe our needs are physiologically not aligned with ourselves. For example, if my womb experience was not nourishing enough, I might have certain deficiencies. For example, in the way my body develops, my muscle will not be very strong. So that would be an important definitive moment. So there are certain moments in life that they are so strong, so intense that emotionally we cannot cope with them and we dissociate. What does this mean? A part of us, an energetic part of us, is fragmented and is left away from our body, as if our soul is not properly embodied. When there is dissociation, we cannot access certain aspects of self. For example, a little kid who is creative and wants to play the piano and he wants to sing and is very inclined into arts, goes to his father, and then the father shames him because that's probably not accepting from a patriarchal sense of being. And the kid is going to understand that as a neglect, and the kid might repress that particular creative aspect of self rather than foster it. So we need, and this probably, not probably, this is the most important aspect of healing ourselves, is to reintegrate those particular dissociated aspects of self. And naturally, we are going to readapt in life because sometimes we adapt in a wrong way. Let me give you an example. If I live in a very tough neighborhood where everybody is in a gangs, I might turn myself a bit violent or aggressive as a way of surviving around that environment. That might work properly in the context of my living in the neighborhood, but might not be very helpful if I am very aggressive in my work, in the relation with my spouse, and so on. So I need to readapt, to release myself from that maladaptation in order to adapt better into the environments we are participating. Sometimes the trauma comes as learning experience in some forms is traumatic. What I mean is that sometimes the learnings we hold are outdated, they are not complete, or they need to improve. So we need to constantly review what learnings we have attained and how is it that we can upgrade them better. There are some learning traumas that are related with school. School is a dangerous place. We place our personal power in the figures of authority. So the teachers are usually training us to be obedient to the figures of power. So we lose our personal power because we give it to someone else. So we need to correct that as well. Sometimes the trauma is about our identity. For example, maybe I am a policeman and I'm very tough and strict in the street, but when I go home, I cannot be empathic with my kids, and that is a problem because if I'm not empathic, my kids won't have the right upbringing. So I need to understand that I have to change my identity from one place to another, and that might not be very easy. Every aspect of this trauma have requirements, so we need to address them as well. Sometimes the traumas are about bad habits. Maybe we smoke a lot, maybe we bite our nails, maybe I have the habit of interrupting my other persons when we are interacting, maybe I have a bad habit of being authoritative. So we need to review how is it that my habits are serving myself, and particularly how are they are aligned or not to this hierarchy of needs. And then there are the retiring traumas, which is the ability or inability to finish the cycles. Some people, they use something and they throw it to the street rather to the waste bin. They don't know how to finish properly the cycle. We can see this in the way that humanity is destroying nature. There is an island of plastic pollution in the Pacific Ocean, for example. So we are not retiring our consuming cycle properly. Maybe sometimes we've lost a dear one. We lost a loved one, we lost a relative, and we cannot finish off our particular experience of I don't have the English word, when it needs to close the cycle when someone dies. Some people are carrying that particular trauma throughout their lives and they cannot restart a new life. Maybe someone is a widower, and we cannot release from our past marriage, and we're not being able to meet someone else and keep relating in life properly. So as you can see, these structures are the ones that drive our behaviors unconsciously. We need to heal them. And through these experiences, unconsciously, we're constantly in a situational awareness cycle, which is the OODA loop. We're constantly, through our mind structures, our conscious and our unconscious needs, going to place our focus in whatever is going to help us to meet those needs. Once we fix our focus into that object of observation, we need to orient ourselves. So we have to make use of our emotional information, what the body tells us. If I am stressed and closed, if I am open, if I feel something in the gut, I need to orient myself according to the signals that my mind body gives me. My orientation also has to be in relation to my past learnings. Maybe those learnings are professional learnings, maybe are learnings related to a particular relationship or an environment, maybe a cultural background. It's like a compass. Once I orient myself, there is an unconscious process of decision making in which I will take care of myself, looking to to behave in the right way to fulfill my needs. This cycle then will feed back itself. There is a trick with this cycle. If we have got clarity of mind, the cycle won't be virtuous, it will be vicious. So when we are in this particular cycle of awareness, sometimes, depending on the context, the needs we are trying to meet are going to give us not a very sustainable cycle of awareness. So whenever we are behaving in order to meet those needs, we're going to have a little bit of trouble. So the nature of what we need to do in order to create a constant cycle of virtuosity for us is to clean our mind. That means that we release our emotional patterns that fix us into patterns of behavior. We need to attain clarity of cognition in order to perceive things properly in the way that we can orient ourselves efficiently and effectively. And when we do that, we clear ourselves and we can reach a higher degree of performance so our decisions are efficient and sustainable. And when we do that, by nature, our behaviors are going to be the right behaviors in the right time, in the right place. We don't need to be mindful of this. We need to create the clarity of mind for us to attain this naturally, because nature is perfect. We see this when we see a tree growing and giving fruits. We see it in the nature of animals interacting themselves. We are not different to the creation of this universe. We just need to organize our needs, because this is the basic spiritual journey that we are embarked on. And with this, I would only make this particular question for us to contemplate spiritually, of course, where is it that we are going? So we need to learn better about ourselves in order to have the right direction for us to have this successful process. And with this, I will close my presentation. I hope I have bring us a better understanding on how we can reach a better or more resourceful self. And I would love to keep conversating in the question and answers section after we finish presenting. And now Galina will share us a perspective from the neurological aspects of how we meet our particular goals in life. So thank you very much, and Galina, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Jorge, so much. But let's share a few words about our second speaker, Galina Bobriokova from Russia. I was very astonished about all what I have heard about you, Jorge. I have written down many questions for you, just to close it like that. Just to clean our mind, many questions. In order to clean our mind, we need to release emotional patterns. I like that. And we will carry on in the Q&A with more questions. Thank you, Jorge, so much. A nice, beautiful comments on the chat box for you, Coach Jorge. And now is coming our coach, Galina Bobriakova. Galina is a master degree neurologist, neurophysiologist, facilitator, agile business coach, business agility, international executive coach, PCC, ICF, a mentor, over 3,000 hours plus of mentoring, founder of the Center for Helping Professionals, NeuroX Pro, and take your notes, write down questions. Galina, stage is yours, and we're looking forward to learning from you.
Thank you, Roxani. Thank you, Jorge, for such a complete look and use for pyramid of our needs. And thank you, our audience, for your attention, for your join. Today, I want to show how similar Maslow's pyramid and neuroscience of our needs are. All of you know, well, at least, encountered Maslow's theory of needs, which we have seen in the Jorge's presentation. And what good about this theory? Looking at the pyramid, you begin to understand where your needs are today and what needs may appear, but what are difficulties? Okay, let's ask ourselves 3 questions. How to grow? The second, why doesn't work? And finally, what should I do? Also, there is no reliable quantitative measure of the satisfaction of human needs. However, the theory cannot explain why some needs continue to be motivators even after they have been satisfied. Also, Maslow theory didn't conduct us empirical research, it said. And despite the high popularity of the theory, has a low validity. But if we talk about the needs of the body and human personality, we must look into the human brain. The needs of the brain have been studied by scientist, scientist Pavel Vasilyevich Simonov for a long time and divided them into 3 categories of need. The first, vital, the second, social, and next, self-development. The specificity of biological needs really lies in the fact that they are innately given. This means that there are genetically determined groups of nerve cells of the brain, which again work according to certain genetically determined principles and see responsible for generating this or that needs. Centers of vital needs are located in the hypothalamus. This is the lower part of the diencephalon. Programs for social needs are as follow. These are programs for sexual behavior, as Jorge said us, parental behavior. There are programs directed from the cup to the mother, and number of more subtle programs related mainly to the pack lifestyle. For example, the desire for leadership in a certain community. Centers of social needs are in the basal ganglia, thalamus, hypothalamus, and limbic system. Also, the autonomic nervous system is important as well. as the centers of self-development are located on different floors of our brain. Guys, please, some more theories to make it easier for you to achieve your goals and grow in your life. It's Adler's theory. Adler's theory echoes Simonov's classification of needs. Three types of needs, they are also motivations. Unlike Maslow's theories, Maslow pyramid, this pyramid is more flexible, and it shows that if you can't reach your growth goal for some reason, you start focusing on relationship and so on. It's important to remember that as soon as the needs of the lower floor are satisfied, progress begins immediately. If the goals are not achieved, the person may focus on the lower sector. This is very similar to Maslow's pyramids, but here we understand what happens to a person's strategy if the goals are not achievable or difficult for any reason. And we can find the answer to the question of where the motivation of a person disappears and where the phenomena of procrastination comes from. Let me give you some simple example. You want to grow up the career leader and take a top position in the company. You are 20 years old. You are young and in a good health. You don't have your dream job yet, and you work at the cafe to pay bills, buy food, clothes, and essentials. And come to the conclusion that you need to get a master's degree. And then you realize that you don't have enough money. You start thinking about the security sector. And where can I get money for my studies? As you continue to work at the cafe, you notice that the same person comes there who sits at the window with her or him laptop and sometimes orders salad and soup and works again. You get to know it's Ash. It's turned out to be a young specialist, a graphic designer, a computer games, and a freelancer who completes order for various companies. Have you always wondered who creates those games that the whole world plays and how it's born? You even learned a little programming language for games. After some time, you start working together with new friend and colleague. First, after a working day in a cafe, after you leave your cafe because it's much more interesting to work on certain games and creating games. In addition, you start earning more. And you still dream of saving up for a master's degree and are striving for it. After some time, you decide to open your own company. More orders, you meet and get know new friends, partners, customers. You already have your own employers who are happy to be your team. And at some point you feel that you don't want to go to master program because you have already achieved everything without it. You are the owner of your company. Remember, our hero wanted to become a top manager. Respect, favorite work, friends, and family. But at some point, you cease to be interested in the field of computer games. The company works without you. You are 35 years old. What's next? What next? And you decide you want more. You understand, reading the social networks of your client, that the world is also lonely now. Your customers find communication in a vital environment, and but they are at home all alone, or with pizza or their cat. You won't help them. You want to understand how psychology works, what happened in a person's head, in a person's brain. You are increasingly interested in the topic of psychology and neuroscience. You are thinking again and again about education in the field of psychology or medicine, but it's hard, you think. You can just blog, write posts about your points of view, and again you put off studying. At 38, you meet a person who shows and talks about neuroscience in an easy and interesting way. She is a medical doctor and a coach. She conducts individual and team sessions, coach sessions for her clients, and people achieve their goals and become happier. This person becomes your mentor. At some point, you firmly decide to graduate from a medical psychological school. You are no longer afraid of the complexity of your studies. You see your goal. Dear friends, this is a story of one of my clients. Just try to note how many times he went down his pyramid and how many times he went up, either losing motivation or finding it again. So, why do people start procrastinating and not move on? There are many mechanisms here. I would like to talk about one of them. You have probably heard about the human limbic system, especially amygdala. This is a region of the brain. This is responsible for the survival of species and has fight-flight response. For example, seeing the danger, our ancestors either ran away, defended themselves, for example, from a predator. What does mean for a modern person? If you want to grow like our hero in today's story, you need to not only want it. It's also important not see reason not to want it. And also don't be afraid. Otherwise you can convince yourself and the world isn't fair. Money or education is needed for success, is easier for the rich. Perhaps it is, I don't know. The government doesn't think about the people. It's not always possible to break through or do not need the position, or my writing book, or don't want to have a toned figure and whatever. Everything you dream of doing, of your goal and values, goals and values. When you or someone else tries to stop you on purpose or by accident, you agree with it, your limiting beliefs are talking. It's important. Good news. The good news is that by targeting this area of the brain, I mean amygdala, we can begin to grow. What needed for that? Only 3 steps. The first, define your goals. Ask yourself, why this is important to me? Ask yourself, when do you want to achieve this? And also write down what becomes possible for you when you achieve this goal. Call total recall. The second point, named total recall, and you need to write down your goals and values, and need to write why do you think it's difficult, why it don't feel like or afraid to start achieving your goal. And the next step, reprogramming beliefs. You can add other memories instead. This is what simple coaching is all about. During coaching sessions, you can get goals, explore why something didn't work out, discover your limiting beliefs, and work through them. Here you can calm your limbic system, your amygdala. Record new memory maps and beliefs in the hippocampus. Hippocampus is the area of the brain for memory, and learn how to come to resourceful state with the help of practice. So, what does our neuroscience want? Want to know that you are safe and that all life critical functions are working well. Wants to communicate with other living beings, wants to develop. And it can do this only when the brain is sure that it's in the safe environment and that its needs are actually being met. Our task, knowing these mechanisms and help nature and help our brain achieve amazing results. It's your results. What we can do anymore? Understand that this simple exercise is not only mechanism. I will prepare a new exercise for you, which we are based on the knowledge of neurobiology and medicine. And also, please pay attention to the content of my colleagues. It's matter how you eat, how you control your body, how you control your thoughts, and how you learn. We have prepared for you a whole cycle of webinars, coaching sessions, workshops, and will help you better understand yourself, your body, your brain, as well as how to achieve goals and be happier. And also this fall, we are starting a program in which each of us will be able to help you and achieve your goals, climb the Maslow pyramid or any pyramids, and find new resources. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. And I pass the microphone to the Roxani.
Thank you.
Roxani is the Roxani is the first and the foremost amazing person, body language coach, speaker, and speaker at numerous conferences, great friend, mother of two. I have always loved and admired Greece. And now I'm glad to find friends and colleagues there. Thank you. Roxani, please.
Thank you, Galina, so much. So I kept this right. I write it on my notebook. Look what I have written from Galina. Record new memory to hypothalamus. So let's start creating new memories over there through visualization, through whatever, through affirmations. I will share with you some at the last part of my presentation affirmations for in order to have a stress-free resolution. So yes, I am Roxani. I'm so glad that I have you all here right now. I'm the RMT methodology founder concerning Be the Communication Magician and Craft Your Own Masterpiece talk. Also, Ethaka founder for you to evolve and to have a better awareness for your body language, and also the 3 golden circles of communication for businesses. So let's share my screen with you. Okay, one moment. So we are here, Mind Games. It is the introduction of this series of project workshops and all these things that we have already mentioned about. And I will start with a quote, a wisdom from Abraham Maslow. You will either step forward into growth or you will step back into safety. Let's see. And the question is to do it right here and right now. This is the point. As you set out for Ethaka, hope your road is a long one, full of adventures, full of discoveries. Ah, Lestrigoni, Cyclops, the ugly Poseidon. Don't be afraid of them. You will never find them in front of your road, as long as you keep your thoughts raised high, as long as a rare excitement, a spirit inside your spirit and your body. You won't encounter them unless you bring them along inside and your soul. Kavafis, a Greek poet, we're talking about Ithaka, translated by Kili, Edmund Kili. This is a new model, Ithaka, a situational awareness model. What do I mean about situational awareness? I mean that I know I'm aware from my present time, I'm aware of the people, of the environment, and of me, myself. This is situational awareness. And there is the situational awareness to stress. Stress is not actually what you are feeling. It's about how you react to stress. This is Hans Selye, a great Hungarian Canadian endocrinologist with a huge experience, scientific experience in human response to stress. So we talk about stress and body language today. We are the sum of our ancestral roots. We are the sum of our historical moment that we are right now, about our experience, our cultural, all where we are growing up. We are the sum of our DNA, and we are spiritual beings at the same time. Keeping all this into consideration, I have created Ethaka Pyramid. This is a body language situational awareness model to stress. You can adapt it also to other situations as well. We're going, as all pyramids, we're going to start it from the bottom to the upper level, and we're going one by one to analyzing it to see how we can apply it to stress. So about the first level, it is human system. Human system, we take it for granted as exactly it is. There is a fog, the subconscious, all these beliefs, all this attitude. There are some things that we can investigate and explore and navigate. But, however, this is the human system. The approach of the Ethaka, it is from 101 to 401. It is the three-dimensional time and space approach. From 601 and 501 till 701, it is a spiritual energy field approach. We all need, because our brain recognizes three-dimensional. So today, for this reason, we're going to have this approach, level 101. And let's take a piece of paper, let's take a pen, and let's make our first exercise. I want to see the reaction. I want you to participate. I have picked up one exercise from Di Fabio 2012, a great master piece for career counselor and creating your purposeful life. I took this exercise from Di Fabio, and it is 2 questions that I will make to you, and I will leave in between around 1 minute to answer this question and then to make some clarifications in order to increase your awareness. So, our first question, it is, what I would like if I could, and why? If I could have all the resources, if I could have everything, what I would like if I could, and why? You have 1 minute. what I would like if I could in the sphere of life and career. You pick your sphere. What I would like if I could and why. We carry on to our second question, which is, what is the minimum objective without which I would strongly unsatisfied? I repeat, what is the minimum objective without which I would strongly unsatisfied? What is the minimum? 1 minute for this question as well. And now we're going to our third question. What can I take away? What is my takeaways for me that is particularly helpful for me to remember? I repeat, what can I take? What is my takeaways for me that it is particularly helpful for me to remember? 1 minute. Okay, and now let's explain what we did right now. The first level, it is our ideal plan, our ideal. The second question, it is our real plan. So let's start our real plan. We have just some clarity right now, just with 2 questions. And the third answer, it is that when there is this resulting discovery, helping us to have a meaningfulness in our life, helping us in our career development. So this is from Di Fabio, 2012, masterpiece counselor concerning constructing future purposeful life. Exercise 3 from Di Fabio. Now, let's go to the second module, communication system back. And we're going to do a combination with planning your action plan. My friend and coach Jorge, I think that you have already uploaded the document. Thank you, I have seen it, thank you so much. But if you haven't, you cannot do like right now the exercise, you just keep on the same paper and pen to go and to see the back. What is BAC? BAC? BAC, it's bodily automation cartography. That means that under stress situation, what is my bodily automation? How I react? What is my body? My eyes, my shoulders, my lips. So I make a cartography under stress. This is the point and the meaning. So I want you to, for the purpose of this session today, because we don't have these 2 or 3 hours to do it one step by one, I have picked up to write down on your white piece of paper. I want you to write down eyes, eyebrows, mouth, shoulders, and jaw. I repeat, eyes, eyebrows, mouth, shoulders, and jaw. Just write this face. We're going to do a face decoder exercise right now. And I want you have written these beautiful words from our beautiful face. And I want you to describe a stressful situation within 2 sentences. A stressful situation within 2 sentences. 1 minute. If there is any person involved, write also the other person as well. I repeat, if there is any person involved, add also the other person. So we describe the stressful situation, we write down also the person, and we write down at the end the stressor. Stressor meaning I have lost my keys. Stressor meaning biological, I have a pain in my neck. Stressor meaning I'm in a traffic jam and my boss will shout at me and insult me. Stressor means a life change, moving houses, a divorce. So I want to describe a situation like that, the person involved, if there is any person, and the stressor. I want to be clarified, clear on your piece of paper. While you are doing it, I'm sure that the mind is coming up emotions and feelings. Pick some of them. Pick some of them, like frustration, like worry. Write them down as well, to have a beautiful narrative in front of us, to have a complete storytelling. Fear, anxiety, sorrow, gloom, joy, trust, enjoyment, shock, astonishment, disgust, contempt. Write down the feelings and the emotions. So the range is big, it's huge. We have to recognize our emotions each time. I think that we are ready. And so now, the ones that you have the documents, there is a second column. There are two columns on the document uploaded on our chat box. But if you don't have this, it's no worries. You just split your paper where you have written eyes, mouth into half. And in the first part, I want you to go outside yourself as the observer and see yourself how you react to stress. Is this gate? Is this following eyes? Narrowing my eyes? Oh, my shoulders are high raised. What is happening to my body? Oh, my heart speed up. My vessels are open. I have tensed on my muscles. What is happening? All this, I want a recognition, a bodily automation, recognition, cartography under stress. My lips are horizontally straight. I want to write it down. Your shoulders, your eyes. You're breathing. I breathe short. I can't breathe. Observe. This is your face decoder and bodily decoder. We are doing BAC, B-A-C. Bodily automation, cartography. And now I want you to release all this emotion, exhale, deep, and just let's find out what could be. Let's complete the second column, that it is your personal action plan. We did what is right now, here, right now, my bodily automation cartography. But what could be, we're going to do it right now. So if my eyes are narrowing, if you have written that I have a narrowing eyes, then VS, we should open my eyes, open wide my eyes. This is my action plan. If I have a strong, tensed forehead, then it is to do some facial yoga, to relax my brain, to touch my skin and relax myself, to give this signal to my brain. I am safe right now because I have the courage and I touch myself. If my shoulders are raised up high, I have this protective attitude because I have a fearful emotion and feeling, then roll my shoulders back and down. Roll my shoulders back, relax. Remember, in public speaking, in confidence body language, we need to be aware our earlobe and our collarbone to have a distance. Our neck We need our neck to be free and relaxed. This is how we measure the distance. Our earlobe and our collarbone. Now we see there is some air around my neck, and the shoulders should be back and down if I want to appear to my boss with confidence, to my co-workers, to show I have a big high performance. I'm a high performer. I need to have a confidence, body language, and shoulders. It's crucial. What else? What else we're having? If we're having our mouth straight and horizontally, the action plan then should be the smiling. Smile, activate all the muscles, again give signal to the brain that I'm safe. Or alternatively, we can do some laugh yoga. Activate your system. Put energy. This is some advice about the back. One's column you create your bodily automation under stress cartography, and on the other together we tailor-made what is your optimal action tailor-made plan through exercises. We're going to do workshops, deeper workshops, in order for you to have a better understanding of what we did right now. And because I want to support more, I will say about the breathing. If the breath is short like that and I speak fast, this is a sign that I feel uncomfortable and there is this stressful situation. Then I do the pause. I pause. This is what I also said. Put air inside the sentence. Put air inside your words. Let them breathe the words. So I pause. I smile. I have a confident body language. And I go to ask for a raise. So this is one sample of our back. We did also I hope that you like it. I need some comments here, and then I carry on with the other levels of Ethaka Pyramid. Jorge, help me if there is something on the chat box. Of course, in the Q&A, we will answer more.
No, not yet, but okay. We will be happy to hear about your explorations and discoveries with the exercise.
Yes, perfect. We will do that in our Q&A. You are absolutely right. Thank you so much. And then we carry on. We share about the communication system to ourselves, to our subconscious, to our environment. We did the bath, and then we go to the planning action tailor-made plan, and then we go to upper pyramid of Ethaka, visualization and test in real situations, because we are going to be tested in real situations to see how you are reacting and responding under stress. And visualization. In the part of visualization, there are 50 affirmations. We're going to share some affirmations right now. So I want you either to close the camera, or if you are comfortable, you can leave it open, to sit back, relax, roll your shoulder. Exhale deep, loud, 7. Roll the shoulder back. Exhale deep, 7. Inhale 5 from the nose. Inhale from the nose. Exhale 7. And now, if you are ready, you can repeat after me. I'm currently reducing my anxiety. I'm currently reducing my anxiety. I focus my energy to my values. I focus my energy to my values. I have the strength to move beyond anxiety. I have the strength to move beyond anxiety. I am in charge of my breathing. I am in charge of my breathing. I have survived before. I have survived before. I will survive now. I will survive now. This is a small sample of these 50 affirmations, and we carry on to have a taste, a bite from sensory intuition. Sensory intuition, it is to censor the triggers before, so to be ready, to understanding what is happening, what is coming before it comes. This is censoring, actually. And intuition is a wonderful gift that we are born with. And let's say one thing, that you can start an exercise, you can start an intuition exercise that you can start it from tomorrow morning, by guessing in the morning what is the mood in your boss, what is the mood for your co-workers tomorrow, and let your intuition tell us. And then you go and see. Just that you need practice, and then slowly we are going to get and to be better at it. And at the end, I left on purpose the monitoring and evaluation, because evaluation starts, each module goes evaluation and metrics in the beginning and in the end. In the beginning and in the end, there is metrics, there is narrations, there are questions. So that is why this is like a passepartout we use, and we need metrics in order to see and to evaluate our progress, how to react, and the reacting in our stress. I hope that you like it. I will end again with the same quote, wisdom from Abraham Maslow. Right now, right here, we take the decision that we will either step forward into growth, or we will step back into safety. Thank you very, very much. And now, a close friend of mine, Sofia Kademlidu, our fourth speaker. Her passion about the proper food, to open and to raise our awareness about food and how food influences mood. It took me more than 1 year. To be honest, she was telling me, Roxani, but... And now also Sofia will make a small initial approach about the two brains. I'm not going to reveal what is the second brain, because I don't. Please, Sofia, the stage is yours.
Roxani, thank you very much. You are amazing. I was relaxed because, you know, the stress without to want it, it comes. Even that my food was properly prepared for today, all this exercise, close my eyes, it just give all the toxins outside of my breath. It makes me feel better, and to go on and to share with you that all the coaches has the tools just to help the people they need us to go on and to reach their goals. Here, I'm with you to share the most important thing, that we can live without it, even for 1 month. How long you can stay without food? Without water, no, it's a few days. Without oxygen, it's just a few minutes. But now we have to share about the real food. In Maslow's pyramid, hierarchy needs is food to satisfy our body to function optimally. Physiological needs are the most important, as all the other needs become secondary until these needs are met. Food is needed. Food, it's for healing. Doing a recovery, and all the thoughts and all the illness that we have. According to the International Food Information Council, And according to the International Life Science Institute, what is the best food? Functional food. What is functional? That's what I have prepared in front of you. Do you know what they have? They have color. Because color, remember, it's crucial. What is functional food? Rejuvenated red. I hope you join them. Watermelon, strawberries, cherries, berries. What is this? Lycopene, lactic acid, resveratrol. We go on with a gorgeous green. Broccoli, avocado, cucumber, spinach, spirulina, seaweeds. What is this? This is chlorophyll, lutein, zeaxanthin. And we go on with what? With the color of the youth, the yellow. We have the carrots, we have the sweet potatoes, we have mangoes. What are these? This is carotenoids. This is protect from the sun damage. This is curcumin that can change your gene expressions. And we go on with the beautify blues, deep blue, and beetroot, and the berries. What they have betalain, they have the rutin, they have anthocyanins. And we finish with neutral whites for taste. Oats, you know oats, flax seeds, walnuts, and delicious almonds. What are these? Beta-glucan. This is lignans, and this is written too. Maybe you tell me, what all these, Sophia? These are our medicine. Every day, daily, what we have our medicine. 2005 years before, Hippocrates, this great Greek philosopher, maybe you know, and he is a great doctor, said, make your food become your medicine, or your food can become your poison. See? Maybe you said, wow, it's delicious, Sophia, hamburger, French fries. But you see, they're dead. They're plastic. This is not food. This is product, because the head of the people, of the human, made it and destroy what? Our system. That's why I'm here. So, sorry, Roxani, there is a nose like a chips on my ears. Someone eats chips? Maybe I treat some real food.
Let me unmute, give me some.
Thank you very much. I go on now with no distractions.
Yes, please.
Thank you. We are humans and we are alive. And that what dessert to us, it's properly fruit. Live food with colors. Don't be distracted when you see all these dead things. Say no. And you can make a trick if you want. Maybe somebody don't tell you. You can choose 2 or 3 items of these 4 basic colors every day, and you can see in 1 month how you feel. the feelings that you are more positive, that you are more happier. And you can imagine that all this happened with food and is real. If I'm not well prepared today, maybe I'm even open my mouth to speak on you, because maybe I am a little bit ashamed because my English isn't so good. Maybe it was my first appearance here and I have to speak for my beliefs and my passionate if I wasn't well prepared. The same happens every day to you, to face all these difficulties in your life, even to communicate with your business, or with your associates, or with your families, with your kids. If you are well prepared, from the since you open your eyes and you take this fuel, because food is good fuel, it's a good medicine. And I explain to you, when you feel depressed, the first thing you're gonna do, what it is? To cry, okay. Instead of this, and to eat something that's not proper, but you want something to eat because I don't feel well, I suggest you something else. The first thing you can do is go to the mirror, see yourself and say, I'm perfect. Drink water, take a bite of dark chocolate with its full of endorphins that is gonna give you the pain. Go. After, call me, or Roxani, or Jorge, or Galina, just to give you the solution, because that's why we're here, to share with you how we can manage. 5 years before, I learned that I had, these stones in the bile. All my system was devastated. I couldn't sleep well. I was in a menopause. I couldn't exercise. I had depressions. My skin was horrible. And I refer about the skin because the other identity I have, it's 22 years now, I'm an esthetician. So you know how important for me is to look well. But my system, it doesn't work because I didn't give exercise, I didn't sleep well, I didn't eat well. I have something to do. And I did. I made it. Yes. I'm 54 years now, and I feel much more better than I was in 30s. And do you know why? I didn't broken down myself. I said, Sophia, you have to learn. So I studied. I studied about the food, and I see how important this. The most important thing is this. And after, I found someone who tells me, Sophia, have you heard about your gut? That is my first brain. That is a brain? Yes, it's the first brain. Do you want to know that we have 500 billion nerves in our gut, and is there connected with our brain? 500 billion, 100 billion nerves, and there's a big nerve that is connected that makes all the signals. When I eat, what I feel, they connect with each other. And then they give us what? They give us all these good hormones. Serotonin. Try to eat banana. One banana per day can make you happy. You makes me vital. Because this goes to the gut and produce tryptophan. And the tryptophan produce serotonin. All this in the gut. When I eat whatever I get, first I think, what is be useful for me? What you're gonna give me? And he tells me, I have full of the options. I have anti-inflammatories. So whatever happens in you, I'm gonna help you. So eat it. Instead of this, if I eat this, the first in about half an hour, your gut gonna give you the signal, something's good, it's not good, maybe diarrhea, go to the bathroom, or give the signal to my brain, oh, I have been excited, depressed, I don't feel well. Why to do this to myself? No, no, Sophia, no, my friend Roxani, no, Galina, no, Jorge. From now, we start whatever put in our mouth to think what it's gonna give to us. Why you don't choose to have a person that you don't like close to you? The same thing you have to do with the food. You can make it this for 1 month. I can help you if you want. In 1 month, you will be changed yourself, and you can believe it. You're gonna be happier, healthier, beautier, only with food and with awareness. What I eat, that's what I am. I am real. I am a good person, and I love the people. That's what I want to go on, and I want to go on with you. You're gonna help me, I'm gonna help you. And the fix, it's very easy. Just start with good habits. The miracles, it doesn't happen from one day to another. If all our lives we feed us the products, we take it from step to step, and you will see that we're gonna find the way to be more healthier without chemical medicines, all with our foods, with exercise, with good sleep, with the water, real things that flows, give positive and not negative. We are positive, positive charts. We are alkalized, and this food help us. Don't forget, your food is gonna be your medicine, and your medicine is gonna be your food. And all this happiness that you are looking for, it's inside you, in your gut. You produced all these serotonins, endorphins, even the GABA. You know what GABA is? Gamma aminobutyric acid, that helps you to relax your body, to have better memory, to have better thoughts. We are an industry, we are become a great 95%, we are amazing. Why we have to destroy ourselves? Because somebody else wants to defeat us. No, I'm strong, and I will be until 120, because my cell is programmatized to live until then. But I want to have healthy people around me. That's why I'm trying every day in my institute. That's what I give an advice. Don't take chemicals. Let's fight it with our foods, because it's strong. It's a power. And I am. Thank you, friends. Thank you that you hear me. I'm here. Whatever you want to ask me, I want to give you an answer. Let's go on to the better world, not only for us, but for the next generation. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Sophia. Jorge, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Sophia, for such an energizing and illuminating presentation. You really are a star. Thank you very much. Let's begin with our question and answers section, in which we can discuss any thoughts, any questions you might have. The subjects we have presented are really depth if we want to explore further. So it would be very interesting to engage in a conversation that can bring a broader understanding and more curiosity on how is it that we can be more resourceful just by focusing on the basics. And this is the beauty of life. It's very simple. If we do this, I think we're going to have a very, very fulfilling experience. There is some questions already here in relation to Sophia's presentation. Let me read them firstly. John Farrell, thank you very much. Nice to see you again and happy to have your company. And John is asking, what about the quality of today's natural foods? When we grow multiple harvests, the crops take us less nutrients than 50 years ago. It would be probably one of the challenges of the mass production of food. So what can you say about this, Sophia? Thank you.
Yes, he's right. Thank you for this question. I thought very much time when I try to go to a market. I try to find the biological food that it has more nutrients. I know that even the field it's not healthy. I know that even the water it's healthy, not the environment it's healthy. But instead of eat the products, I prefer to eat something that is real.
Thank you very much, Sophia. And then there is another question. Well, Galina would like that energy of yours for a constant and vibrant life. So I think that's more of a longing, but nevertheless, it's a good observation. And now from our friends from the Pearl of Africa, Tasnim and probably Samuel, who is around. What about intermittent fasting to avoid bulimia? What can you tell us about it?
Bulimia. First, I have to discuss.
Sophia, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for interrupting you guys. Thank you so much. Right now, I have to go. Sorry, unfortunately. If you have any questions, please chat me. I sent my LinkedIn profile and chat me about your goals, about your questions, about your, I don't know, maybe about sessions, and we will. Thank you so much for this amazing meeting. Thank you so much, my team, Roxani, Jorge, Sophia. Thank you, Daphna. Thank you, Russia's guys. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Tasnim, to join today. Thank you so much and have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Galina.
Thank you, Galina. Hope to meet you again and we'll keep...
Yeah, of course. We will announce, right?
We have the June, 11th of June, the next webinar, so it will be announced.
Certainly. So thank you very much. So we were speaking about bulimia and intermittent.
Bulimia.
Yes.
Every situation that we have in our lives, and we get this stress, and I tell you before that we can burst in the food. For bulimia also, I have it when I was 15 years old. It takes time, but only if I was 15, I had friends that support me, and the food that I'm choosing there, it was more fruits and vegetables. So I given apart and throw away from my life all the toxic fruits, and I have only this. This food is gonna help you even to pass the bulimia that you have or any other kind of distractions of the food. So don't be afraid. It takes some time, but everything it has this period, it comes close to the cycle and goes to another. But in the refrigerator or in the cabins, we have to throw it away, whatever is toxic. When we put all the things from foods and vegetables, we don't have nothing to afraid of. So in bulimia, it's going to pass also. I'm sure. And I have to discuss with my friend about this because I had it. I passed it times ago.
Thank you, Sophia, for sharing your experience from firsthand. That's always very, very reassuring.
I passed everything. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure if there are any questions that you would like to ask through your boss. Tasnim, I think she's raising her hand. Maybe you have another question, or you would like to speak.
Yes, it's about the famous bulimia, because it is a little bit difficult when we are in family and we have to prepare some suits for our children, and I can't totally avoid all toxic foods. So
no, you have to replace it. I know that it's difficult. I understand. Yes. But sometimes, some things we have to put it a little bit away from us, and some other we have to close us. That's it happens with every relations. And the food, it's kind of relation. Okay. If we don't I'll give you an example. If you don't like some kind of person, a friend, and you said inside, I love him, but I can't be with him because he doesn't make me good. We put it from here to here, and we don't look it for some time. And we bring this person closer because this is better person. Okay, I'm trying to symbolize, to bring something similar with the food, because everything has connected with relations. So if something with this, it doesn't help me. If I eat it now, it's not that I believe it makes me good, but because I'm nervous, because it is cheap, and somebody gives me, and I want to to say to him, no, I don't want. But if you say stop to yourself, I'm gonna sit here. You are good, but not for me anymore. You don't give me something good, because this thing, I read that it has inside so many minerals, so many vitamins that makes the cells cheer up. I have energy. If I take this and eat it, all this gastrointestinal, it's gonna work so hard and takes me so more of my energy that it doesn't help me. Okay, so we do things that helps me. You see, these things. If you ask me what choose, 5 years ago, maybe I choose this. But now that I see myself, I choose this. Doing this like a play every day. Maybe you can manage in 1 week, but if you have it in your mind, you can manage in 1 month. Give us time and to learn more.
Okay, and how to have it as a lifestyle, even in holidays, even on ceremonies, etc. It's the same.
You see, for me, it's the same.
I have to prepare my mind.
It's the same.
When I have the risk to just meet sugars.
All this processed food. That's the only thing that you can do. It's to killing us every day because it's poison. You see, I'm killing me because I get poison. Why? You are young, you are beautiful, you have a lot of years in front of you, you have goals, you have targets. So I have something to sacrifice that it's not important.
Yes.
And something else, I had to open my mind. Okay, come because I need you. You're gonna help me, and it don't cost me a lot, because this is gonna cost me how many to go to the doctors, how many money to spend to the doctors just to read me the diabetics, the obesity, the depression that I have, to psychologists, everything.
Yes.
You can cure yourself.
Yes, and
if I can't, you can.
Yes, thank you. And what about fasting? Is it interesting as a method? Intermittent fasting.
Fasting? Fasting about
Yes.
what?
It is about just to eat 8 hours a day.
Yes,
And
yes.
16 hours to avoid all. It's interesting, I think. No.
You have to find the method that it works for you. Okay, imagine if you eat the fruits to eliminate, it takes about 4 or 5 hours. In 4 or 5 hours, you have clean system without bacteria, without all fungus, without problems. If you eat cooked meat, it's gonna take you about 24 hours and more. So imagine how many bacteria it stills on the gut, and you're never gonna be clean. The things that we want is the food to be digestive, not to live long time in it.
Yes.
Because it makes illness, and you don't see it in 1 month. You can see in years. You have all the chronic diseases, and after the 40 years old, you understand that this system is devastated, and it starts all this to come up.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
I thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tasnim and Sophia. Thank you very much. It's an interesting subject because there is this particular programming mantra that says garbage in, garbage out. So if we are mindful of what is it that the intake of food we are having, certainly it's going to change the whole cycle. And in that regards, I would say that it is important to address the emotional drivers of our behaviors around food. So there is always an emotional component that takes us to a different relation with food, whether it is bulimia, whether it is eating too much. No? There's sometimes the comfort foods that we had the experience when we were little babies. No? And also there are the addictive tendencies of the food industry. No? Everything, all the processed foods have sugar.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Let's just imagine how damaging.
Just to keep us, they want us to keep us slaves, because the sugar, we are addicted. It's like all these drugs, and we can't leave it easily. It wants small steps, and instead to have this milky sugar with a lot of sugar, you can take this one, dark 74% cacao. With some, where's my favorite? With the copper. This is the dates. The dates have copper, all these beautiful minerals. You combine this, you can make a smoothie with some avocado and some of the almond milk, and it's delicious. You don't want to eat something else, and gives you energy also. Yes, there are clever tips that you can replace the bad with the good, the negative with the positive.
Yes.
Interestingly, food can be a way to achieve a sense of satisfaction in our self-esteem as well. So again, we're always navigating through different kind of needs, and they are always feeding each other. So food can give us not only good nourishing, but also
food connects us.
A high self-esteem.
All we're connected with this, with food. If we are here, look, all this food, where can I do it now? For me, it will be a pleasure if I can share with you, okay? I'll make you some fruit salad, I'll make you some delicious smoothie, but you are very away alone from me, okay? Maybe one day.
Sometime, I hope. Anyway, distance shortens with these particular tools. What else do we have with the group? What would you like to talk about? If you have any other questions, maybe we can help you to understand certain concepts that were shared. We would be more than happy to keep sharing with you at the moment. And maybe if there's nothing else, we can maybe close the session if that's okay as well. Roxanne, what do you say?
I say yes, because we're having soon enough. You're going to do the announcement, Coach Jorge, about our 11th of June. We're having the same session, but with some variations. So I would love to hear from you the sharing about our future upcoming seminars.
Sure. Well, certainly we are trying to. We're not trying. What we're doing is setting up a number of webinars with this particular approach. And what we want to do is to have a sort of a new input from time to time with these webinars. So if you would be interested in joining in a particular next date, although we're going to talk about fundamental needs, we might give it a twist considering what we have learned from this particular session. And if you have any other particular interests, you can let us know as well so we can consider them in our presentations. Eventually, if the interest keeps growing, we would like to give more information into a deeper level of whatever is related in regards to our basic needs. So I trust that this will be a very engaging process of sharing knowledge, which I think it's paramount in these particular times. The broader our map of reality is, the more resourceful we're going to be. The more embodied and connected with our own selves, the more propitious life we're going to have. Sometimes this implies facing ourselves in the mirror as we are, and that is probably the most fearful tasks of all. It's hard to see what we have to address in order to fulfill ourselves as human beings, fulfill and complete embodied souls. So I would really like to share more with you about all this information. John is sharing a bit in the chat, so I'll leave it to Roxanne to read what is being said.
Yes,
Yes, is there a recording? Because unfortunately, I have to left some parts of the sessions, and they are very interesting. I want to see them if there is a recording.
It is right now live on YouTube on my channel. I will send you the link after. I will write down and I will send you the link.
Okay, good. Excellent.
Okay, Tasneem, nice to see you. Very glad. Now we'll go to John, to Coach John. The question, I'm interested where, hello friend, how are you? We're all now a small, beautiful family. I'm interested where you see society today, okay, Roxana, regarding Maslow hierarchy. Most of Western society are no longer worries at the lower levels of shelter. Unfortunately, they don't, and are probably more at the self-actualization they need. Yes, but certainly we cannot reach up the actualization and the spirituality if we don't fulfill the needs. And we do not forget, John, that during the last pandemic, this economic crisis, we were all in this survival mode somehow, and we didn't, maybe on purpose, maybe not, I don't know, we didn't have this awareness, and we all want to reach this spirituality, this self, okay, I leave spirituality for the moment out, the self-actualization, because we keep on to have the personal development and self-actualization, and we miss this. I love your question. I love it a lot, because of course we have to cover the first needs to feel this fulfillment in order to go up. There is always to remember there is exceptions to the rules, and the exceptions are more spiritual people. We have to mention people that can survive and can go up to the hierarchy through spirituality without covering the other needs. But this is a small percentage in our planet Earth, but there is and exists. We all have some spiritual people around us, all we know in our societies. So now for the norm, for the other part, for me or for other people, yes, we should be aware, but if we are in this stress situation, this survival mode of the shelter, of the uncertainty, that I have low job awareness, what is happening, and inside me, I'm building this psychological stressor, it is psychological stressor strong, then will keep me not to have clear mind to focus to my goal and not to align with my inner needs. This is the thing. I want to find my purposeful need. What is my really need to find, to have clarity, awareness, in order then to practice, to do things that will put me in the hierarchy, in the upper level. But of course, I have to need this satisfaction. I don't know, John, if you want to ask me something, if I cover you.
Thank you, Roxanne. That was sort of what I was looking for. Could I just, I made a comment there, but I can't believe that, Sophie, that you're over 50. You've got so much energy from the food, I suspect.
Oh, thank you.
From the food, yes.
So, yes, Roxanne, that sort of answered the question. And obviously there will be individual cases where people are still at that lower level, but Western society, particularly, is moving out of that situation where they don't need to worry about shelter, food, the basics, and starting to move into self-actualization. What does self-actualization mean? And that was my question. What do you think? Is those points I made there come into self-actualization? People having certainty and uncertainty. Now, there's a balance. People don't like uncertainty; they prefer certainty. Is significance connection? Significance is ego, which is not necessarily great, but it's something that people need. But it's, yeah, you could call it a spiritual level, but it's at that higher level of self-actualization, connection, love. So there's different sorts of love: conditional, unconditional love.
It is. Because if we reach the, yes, unconditional love, exactly to the point, but this is the hierarchy upper on spirituality level. When I have this unconditional love, when I accept everyone, when I am at this level and I release myself from the ego, and then I release myself from loneliness, and I'm in this collective consciousness level. This is high spirituality. This is that I'm free, and I'm on the upper energetic field. This is the second level of also Ethaka Pyramid, that we reach our consciousness, our collective consciousness. This is the higher upper level from my point of view. It's not that everybody can believe this.
Yes. We could talk about consciousness levels, different program, but there's conditional love and unconditional love. And most of us live with unconditional love. So although we're at that higher level, self-actualization, conditional love is not helping us. That's like eating toxic food.
Exactly. It's in the lower level of hierarchy. I agree.
The lower level of self-actualization.
Yes, if it is love, but it's not. It is, let's say, not a toxic love somehow. It's not toxic. It is. When it is in the lower levels, it is when I want you to love me, for example, because I feel that you increase my self-esteem. Let's say that you are somebody that you are a very important person, you are something like that. And when a person like John loves Roxani, then this raises Roxani also as well. This is not love. This is like type of manipulation. For me, the honest love, it is when I have this self-love without ego, that I accept my Roxani. I know that I have to grow. And I take also other people around me in order all of us to grow together, not to have that, I want to grow and I don't want you to grow. Then this is like we all go together in order to change this, what is happening right now energetically.
So we're the last two. Where do you see growth and contribution coming?
It's coming slowly, but if we shift, because we are talking about energy, if we shift all our minds, or a big percentage of human people, of humanity right now, we shift the brain, immediately it will come. Because there is no time and space for me. It is all happening right now. So for this, if I have this concept, that means that automatically change the energy, everything changes right now here. So this is my question, my answer.
Thank you.
I have a perspective that my complement what Roxani shared, and we're speaking about the collective groups. we have to accept, or at least observe, that there is a collective mind. We see it as a identity, group identity, for example, whether we are Mexicans, British, Greek, Russians, and so on. And just as I was sharing about how we dissociate personally from the experiences we have, as a collective, we have also been dissociated. And one example, as a mean of proving this, is the standing paradigm of growth versus the paradigm of sustainability. If you analyze the tribes from the Amazon cultures, I can share later a video, it's very interesting. Their paradigm is a constant cycle of retribution with nature. And the most important dissociation we have as modern societies is with nature itself. We seldom see the leadership speaking about sustainability, about clean energies, and so many other things. But they are still, although they are very good ideas and policies in the global sense, they are still very short of meeting our sustainable line of hierarchies. Why is it? Because we try to thrive in the same time as we predate nature. That brings imbalance. Whether a group feels that they are already in the higher level of the hierarchy, some others might be in the lower one because they are in the social condition, in a regional condition of scarcity. If we don't bring balance to those particular contrasting societies, the dialogue cannot be universal, and we cannot recognize what is going in a wrong direction and what is going in a good direction. And this brings us to the crisis of leadership we are suffering everywhere in the world. Every country has, and particularly now with the media being so intense, informing us of many ways, we can see that each country has a particular challenge in their leadership. Every system is defined by the structures of the leadership itself. If the leadership does not clean itself in a way that has this spiritual connection with nature and the highest responsibility of taking care of people and reducing the sense of boundaries, or better said, to have a good sense of boundaries, I think it's very hard to have a global alignment with the Maslow hierarchy, because it applies globally. If we could globally be at that higher level of understanding and consciousness, the societies would be thriving constantly. So it is a very interesting times because we need to change the conversations in order to have this alignment that can be in benefit of the whole planet. And that is an interesting voice that needs to be voiced at the same time in so many ways, in so many places. You know, it's like John Lennon said, let's give peace a chance. In many ways, of course, not only in the international way, but personally, among others. So it's interesting, challenging times. I'm not
I'd be
sure.
interested in the link to that video.
I'll share it with you. And as another contrasting aspect, from the Indian traditions, they measure time with leaps of time. Their cycles of time are about 75,000 years. They call them yugas, and there are different stages of time. And from that perspective, we are in the middle of an age which is called Kali Yuga, which is characterized by the crisis of leadership, the corruption of values. So it's very interesting that life cycles are very, very consistent because they are operating everywhere and every dimension. So maybe with a little bit of awareness in that regards, we need to understand that we are living in a life cycle that we need to, if we could accelerate the flow of events within the cycle, maybe we can transcend this cycle faster than and sooner than it's needed. So that would be probably
Coach
another...
Jorge, we're having Tasneem she raised her hand. Yes, Tasneem?
Yes, just you will correct me, but I think when as John talked about the hierarchy of the needs of Maslow and others, can we consider that the first one, which is about physiological needs like food, etc., there is a different ways to have to nourish this need. Maybe for some people who haven't the minimum of foods, there is a one side of problem, and for us, for me, for example, to have a bad relationship with food, it is also a bad relationship, and the need isn't correctly nourished. And normally we have to have a good relationship, and foods must to help us. Then they become our enemy. Is it? I don't know if my reflection is correct. If you share with me this idea.
Do you mean myself? Sorry, I was.
Yes.
Sorry, I was looking for John's video. I didn't pay attention. I apologize.
The question, Jorge, the question was from Tasnim that since one person got this bulimia, and also there is a bad connection with the food, and the other person got scarcity of the food, how we could apply, we connect somehow, we make things like that in order to bloom and to have in a balance the first level of hierarchy, in order people to cover the first level, to cover food, not scarcity, in order to help through psychology, the bulimia, and then to go upper and upper to cover the upper needs. If we could make somehow, this is correct, Tasnim?
Yeah,
correct?
Yes, my idea,
how we
yes.
combine both in order to support society somehow. If we could have a balance, bring a balance between psychology and the other, it's biological scarcity. And it's one is psychology, the other is biology, actually, stressor.
I mean that the first level of food, for example, it isn't only to have food, also to have a good relationship with food.
Yes, psychology.
The meaning or the what food or our relationship with food is signaling. Every definitive moment, every trauma signals a particular set of behaviors. If I am highly traumatized by violent events, I might have a post-traumatic stress disorder, no? Problems with sleep, and there's a lot of stress and so on. And just like that, any other definitory moments, any other trauma will signal something. The nature of the signal that is related to food has to do with ingestion, meaning the mouth. So, of course, I would need to have, in the particularities of an individual, I would need a bit more of information of what other signals they are showing. But being the food and the mouth such an important signal, I would say that the person had an experience in a very, very early stage of their lives. It might not relate to the womb experience, but maybe to the first stages where we feed and we connect through our mouth with our mother. So anything related with the mouth would signal that particular stage of development. So anyone in that particular challenge in life would need to explore what is it that happened that particularly it's signaling through the behavior of bulimia. Of course, because everything is complex, there are other particular elements that are probably triggers for the behaviors, whether it's a stress coping mechanism, whether it's a sense of lack of self-esteem. So as you see, we have to explore very deep and in order to understand what is it that the person is showing. But initially, it has to do with early stages of their life. So that's the path towards any any signal, any expression that signals traumatic experience is a doorway into healing. If I smoke a lot, that is the signal that would take me to the particular experience where I need to heal. So it's very interesting because we're always constantly trying to reconnect and to rebalance. We just need to help that signal to manifest and finish its life cycle. That would be in relation with the individual. You had another idea about the collective, is that right? I'm just trying to connect all the question was very complex anyway.
Yes, yes. Yes, it is complex because I have this, particularly I have this relationship with food, with good, with bad and good stress. Even when I am excited, I do my job, I'm enthusiastic, I need to eat. I feel like I have this addiction to sugar, to bad foods. Okay. Mainly with salt, mainly with bread, etc. You know, it isn't. It is an automatism.
Okay. What would have to be true?
Confirmed bulimia. You know, it isn't a confirmed bulimia disease. No, but it isn't. It isn't a good behavior. There is an anomaly, I think, and a bad automatism I have.
What would have to be truth for that behavior to exist?
Truth.
What would have to happen in order for that behavior to manifest?
When I, it's like I need energy.
And what kind of energy is that energy?
I don't know. I don't know.
We need to explore probably further. There are aspects of our lives that require the proper time and context for exploring and healing. There are approaches which are, without any judgment, they are manipulative by nature, no? Like trying to make it until you fake it until you make it, or trying to control ourselves, our behaviors. And that's okay, it's an approach. Some others are emergent, meaning that we need to allow things to manifest themselves in order to understand them. So whether it's one way or the other, those are paths into the healing process that we need to embark. No? So whether you choose one or the other, the importance is that you learn about this in a deeper dimension. And the gifts when you find the answers to the challenge are going to be amazing, because basically you are making company of yourself. So by ingesting food, you are giving yourself the company that you need.
Yes, maybe I need to talk to myself in that moment with another suggestions. A new suggestion.
Yes, you have all the answers that you need for healing and progressing in your life cycle for your relation with food. Yes. We have John also has a comment.
Yes. Thank you.
I just wanted to add on from what Jose was saying. Yes, fascinating. A lot of this happens unconsciously. It's not a conscious thing. So where that addiction to food or sugar comes from, that's being driven unconsciously. Now, the challenge we have in the world today is that you have psychologists working in companies, and to get food to last longer on the shelf, they put lots of salt in it to preserve it. To cover that, they put lots of sugar in it, so you don't taste the salt. And suddenly, we don't see until you read the back of the package, and you see how much salt and how much sugar, and you're becoming addicted to it. And this is what Sophia's saying, that it's so important that we eat cooked fresh food, because we're not getting the salt and the sugar. But also, what I remember years ago, I was involved working in something called spiral dynamics, which is a consciousness level, probably different to what Roxanne's dealing with, but that's also based in the awareness of colours. So I know here in England, the classical established companies were deep red, deep purple, lower consciousness level. Companies are changing their colors now to light blue and light yellow. So it's not at a conscious level, it's at that level. Companies are starting to change the colors they're advertising. McDonald's in different parts of the world use quite different advertising, different images, different colors. So there's all this subliminal messaging going on. So, and that's for food, but it's influencing all sorts of different things in society. So and that's on an unconscious level. So when we ask the question, why are you eating too much food? That's a conscious question. It takes deeper work. What Jorge was sort of talking about there. It's not a conscious thing. We can talk here consciously, but it's happening at a much deeper level.
Yes. Sorry, may I?
Yes, please, Sophia.
Yes. Maybe if I ask the food that you eat, it has too much sugar inside, you know that as much sugar it has, in a few hours you want to eat much more. So it has to do and the quality of your food that you eat. But because if you eat properly the right food, that it doesn't have, sugar in, so you don't need, because you feel full, okay? You have the feeling that I feel very good, I don't want more. But if you eat something that it has sugar, all this goes to the blood, and the IGP, insulin goes to the level. And in a few hours, the brain gives again the signal that you want more to eat. Yeah. That's the food for the brain, the sugar, and needs more sugar. And as much sugar you eat, you want some more. You never feel full. So you have to start small steps, okay? Don't be panic. I'm gonna change, but I'm gonna change with my rhythm. Maybe it happens as I tell you. I needed 5 years to change, okay? Roxani knows me. I'm not the same person, but 5 years, you see? But I have only in front of you that I'm gonna reach, I'm gonna change my life, I'm gonna be a better person. And if you got this, you're gonna find it. Don't worry, please don't worry. Give some time. Just, make a schedule. And I said every day, in a year from now, I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to have more energy. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to have people positive around me. Write down every day. And every day that you see, that you can manage it. Every day you see these opportunities and you can take it. Okay. Today I met Sophia and I have Jorge that you tell me this, and with John and Roxanne. Take this opportunity today, and tomorrow something else, and every day something else. And you'll see in a month that sometimes what I'm saying, I'm gonna sign that you in 1 year from now, you're gonna be changed if you take all these opportunities that give you in front in a day. But take it, don't leave it, as Galina said, not later, now, tomorrow, I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna take all these fruits, I'm gonna open the refrigerator, and I'm throwing away all these diaries, all these meats, all this away. I keep it only the most innocent. Every day, a small step, and in a year, you are a beautiful woman. I'm going to tell you also. So take care of yourself. Don't afraid nothing.
Thank you.
Small steps.
Thank you all. If there is no more questions, we're coming soon, 11th of June. Jorge, what next? It is 26th of June. In June, we're having 2 sessions, 2 meetings. Just remind me.
On the 11th of June at the same time in the 4 p.m. in the Greenwich Merida time zone.
I will send email.
And then the next one will be on the 26th of June.
26th. Okay, 11th and 26th. And I hope that we meet again. More questions, same content, but a little bit from another aspect, a little bit more
improvements. This lady maybe will be in the next, and she's gonna tell me how many of your goals she succeeded.
It's okay. I promise you, Sophia.
So thank you, Daphne. Thank you, Tasneem. Thank you, Edme. Thank you, Gabriela. Thank you, John. Thank you, Jorge, Galina, everyone, Sophia. All we thank you all.
Thank
so bye
you.
for now.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to be here with you, and I hope to see you soon again.
Yes, have a good weekend.
Thank
All.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Enjoy the weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.